My future wife, wherever you are right now, I hope life is being gentle with you. Maybe you don't know me yet. Maybe we've already crossed paths without realizing that one day our stories will become one. But there is something I want you to know before we ever meet. I'm not looking for a perfect woman. I don't need a perfect life. I just hope that when I finally find you, we can be real with each other. I hope you can bring me your fears, your dreams, your broken days, and your happiest moments. And I promise, I won't ask you to hide the parts of yourself that life taught you to protect. I don't know how long it will take for us to find each other. But until that day comes, please take care of your heart. Somewhere out there, I'm learning too, making mistakes, growing, becoming a man who will hopefully know how to love you the way you deserve. And when we finally meet, maybe I'll look at you and realize every lonely road, every disappointment, every moment I thought I was waiting for nothing was simply leading me to you. My future wife, wherever you are right now, I hope you are okay. I don't know what your life looks like at this exact moment. I don't know if you are smiling today or carrying something heavy in your heart that no one else knows about. I don't know what city you are in, what dreams you have, what kind of music makes you stop and remember something from your past, or what you think about when the world becomes quiet and you are finally alone with your thoughts. But somehow, even though I don't know you yet, there is a part of me that wonders about you. I wonder if you are also somewhere looking at the same sky, hoping that one day the right person will enter your life and make everything feel a little less lonely. Maybe you have waited longer than you expected. Maybe life has disappointed you. Maybe someone once made you believe in forever and then left you questioning whether forever was ever real. Maybe you have learned to smile while protecting a heart that has been hurt before. If that is true, I want you to know something. You don't have to be ashamed of the parts of you that are still healing. You don't have to pretend that nothing ever hurt you. When the day comes that we finally know each other, I don't want to meet a version of you that was created just to impress me. I want to meet the real you, the woman who has survived days she never talks about, the woman who has cried when no one was there to see her, the woman who kept moving forward even when she was tired of being strong. I want to know the story behind your silence, the meaning behind your smile, the things that made you who you are. Because maybe, somewhere along the way, both of us have been walking through different roads, learning different lessons, becoming different people, and yet somehow those roads may be slowly leading toward the same place, toward each other. I think about that sometimes. How strange life can be. Two people can exist in the same world for years without knowing that one day they might sit across from each other, laugh at something meaningless, and suddenly feel a kind of peace they have been searching for without even realizing it. Maybe we have already been close to each other without knowing it. Maybe we have walked through the same place on different days. Maybe we have looked in the same direction from different parts of the world. Maybe your name has never entered my life yet, but somehow your future already exists in my thoughts. Not because I believe love is some perfect story written without pain, but because I believe there are moments in life that cannot be forced. You can search for something everywhere and still not find it until the right moment arrives. And maybe that is what I am learning now. To stop chasing what is not meant to be held. To stop asking the wrong people to stay. To stop believing that loneliness means something is wrong with me. Maybe loneliness is sometimes just space. Space before the right person arrives. Space where we learn who we are before we try to share our lives with someone else. So wherever you are, my future wife, I hope you are becoming who you were always meant to be. I hope life is teaching you things that will make you stronger without making your heart cold. I hope the people who hurt you have not convinced you that everyone will hurt you. I hope the disappointments have not stolen your ability to believe in something beautiful. And if you have become afraid of love, I understand. I think everyone becomes afraid of something they once wanted deeply and lost painfully. But maybe one day we will meet, and neither of us will have to pretend anymore. Maybe we will sit together and slowly understand that we were both afraid, both uncertain, both carrying memories we didn't choose, and still somehow willing to try again. I don't want to rush you. I don't want to make promises to a woman I haven't met and pretend that life will always be easy. I know better than that. Love is not two perfect people finding each other at the perfect time and living without problems. Love is two imperfect people deciding that the other person is worth understanding. It is choosing patience when emotions are loud. It is choosing honesty when silence would be easier. It is choosing to listen when you could simply walk away. And when I think about you, I don't imagine perfection. I imagine reality. I imagine mornings when one of us is tired and the other makes coffee. I imagine difficult days when we may not know the right words, but we still sit beside each other. I imagine laughing over things that would make no sense to anyone else. I imagine growing older and slowly realizing that the small moments were the ones we would remember the most. Maybe you will have habits that annoy me. Maybe I will have habits that make you shake your head and wonder why you chose me. Maybe we will disagree about simple things and occasionally say things the wrong way because we are human. But I hope that beneath all of it, there will be something stronger than pride. I hope there will be a quiet understanding that says, this is my person, and I don't want to turn one difficult moment into the end of something meaningful. Because I have learned that finding someone is one thing, but learning how to stay is another, and staying does not mean accepting everything or losing yourself inside another person. It means building a place where both people can be honest without being afraid. A place where you can say, I'm not okay today, and I won't ask you to become someone else before I listen. A place where I can admit that I am struggling without feeling like I have failed you. I want us to be human together. Not perfect, not always strong, just real. I hope you understand that before I meet you, I am still becoming someone. I am still learning from the mistakes I have made. There are things I wish I had understood earlier. There are moments I would probably handle differently if life gave me another chance. But maybe that is part of growing up. You cannot change every chapter behind you, but you can learn not to repeat every mistake in front of you. And I hope by the time you come into my life, I have learned how to love without trying to control, how to care without losing myself, how to be present without pretending I have all the answers. I hope I have learned that sometimes the greatest thing you can give someone is not a speech, not a gift, not some impossible promise, but your presence, just being there, sitting beside them when life is difficult, holding their hand when words are not enough, looking at them and letting them know they do not have to face everything alone. If you are out there right now feeling like no one truly understands you, I hope life surprises you one day. I hope someone asks you about the things you thought no one noticed. I hope someone remembers the little details you casually mentioned months ago, and I hope when that person is me, I never become so comfortable with your presence that I forget how lucky I am to have it. Because love should not become invisible just because it becomes so familiar. I want to keep noticing you, the way your face changes when you are trying not to laugh, the way you become quiet when something is on your mind, the things that make you feel safe, the things that make you feel alive. I want to keep learning you even after I think I already know you. Maybe that is what forever really means. Not knowing everything about someone and becoming bored, but spending a lifetime discovering new reasons to appreciate the person beside you. And until we meet, I hope you are not measuring your worth by who chooses you and who doesn't. I hope you know that being single does not mean you are incomplete. You are a whole person before you ever become my wife. You have your own dreams, your own purpose, your own voice, your own life. I don't want to enter your world and become the reason you forget yourself. I want to enter your life and support the person you already are. I want to celebrate your dreams, not replace them with mine. I want to see you become more of yourself, not less. And maybe that is why I am willing to wait. Because I don't want just anyone to fill an empty space. I would rather wait for someone whose presence makes the space feel like it was always meant for them. Someone I can talk to when the day is beautiful and when the day is unbearable. Someone I can trust with my silence. Someone who understands that sometimes I may not have the perfect words, but my heart is still trying to say, I'm here. My future wife. Maybe right now you are wondering when your person will come. Maybe you have asked yourself why love seems so easy for other people and so complicated for you. Maybe you have watched others find each other while you quietly wondered if your turn would ever arrive. I cannot tell you when. I wish I could. I cannot promise that the road before we meet will always be easy. You may have more lessons to learn, and so may I. We may have more growing to do before we are ready to hold something real. But I hope that when the time comes, we recognize each other not because everything suddenly becomes perfect, but because something inside us becomes calm. Because after so much noise, maybe the right love does not always arrive like a storm. Maybe sometimes it arrives like peace. Maybe you will walk into my life on an ordinary day, and nothing around us will look extraordinary. The world will still be busy. People will still be rushing somewhere. The problems in our lives will not suddenly disappear. But maybe I will look at you and feel that something has changed. Not because you saved me. I don't want to be saved by another person, and I don't want you to need me to save you either. I want us to choose each other as two people who have both learned how to stand on our own and then discover that standing together can make the journey warmer. I want us to be partners, not prisoners of each other's expectations. I want to know that you are free to be yourself and still choose me every day, and I want you to know the same about me, because love means more when it is chosen freely. So for now, wherever you are, keep living. Don't pause your life waiting for me. Go after the things that make your heart feel alive. Spend time with the people who love you. Learn from your mistakes. Travel if you can. Rest when you need to. Laugh loudly. Cry when you have to. Let life shape you. But don't let it convince you that you have to become hard to survive. Protect your heart, yes, but please don't build walls so high that even happiness cannot reach you. Somewhere I am trying to do the same. I am trying to become more honest with myself. I am trying to understand what truly matters. I am trying to let go of the things that no longer belong in my life. And maybe while we are both doing that, time is quietly moving us closer without either of us noticing. One day, perhaps our waiting will make sense. One day, the years that felt confusing may become part of the story we tell each other. You will tell me about the days before me, and I will listen. I will tell you about the days before you, and you will understand. We may look at each other and realize that if either of us had arrived earlier, we might not have been ready. Maybe we needed those lonely nights. Maybe we needed the disappointments. Maybe we needed to lose certain people so we could learn the difference between attention and love, between attachment and commitment, between being wanted for a moment and being valued for who we truly are. I don't know where you are tonight. Maybe you are happy. Maybe you are exhausted. Maybe you are holding your phone and wondering whether someone somewhere is thinking about you. Well, in a strange way, I am. Not because I know your face or your voice yet, but because the thought of you reminds me that the future still has things I haven't seen. And that gives me hope. It reminds me that life can change because of one conversation, one meeting, one unexpected moment. It reminds me that there may still be a person out there whose hand I have never held, whose voice I have never heard whisper my name, whose eyes I have never looked into, and yet one day she may become the person I cannot imagine my life without. Until then, I will wait without trying to force the universe to give me something before it's time. I will keep becoming, keep learning, keep healing, and keep believing that somewhere, on a road I cannot see yet, you are doing the same, living your life, carrying your own hopes, taking your own steps, perhaps not knowing that every ordinary day may be bringing us a little closer to the moment when we finally meet and begin to understand why we both had to wait for so long, why some doors had to close, why some people had to leave, why some nights had to feel so lonely, and why all this time, somewhere between your journey and mine, we were both slowly finding our way toward each other, one day, one lesson, one heartbeat at a time, until the distance between two strangers becomes smaller, until the waiting becomes a memory, until I finally have the chance to look into your eyes and quietly understand that after all the roads I have walked and all the years that have passed, you were there somewhere, waiting for your own tomorrow, and so was I, never knowing exactly when life would bring us together, but still moving forward through every uncertain day with the hope that somewhere ahead, beyond everything we cannot predict, there is a moment where your life and mine finally meet my future wife. Before we ever meet, there is something I want you to know. I am not waiting for a perfect woman. I am not searching for someone who never makes mistakes, never feels afraid, never has difficult days, or always knows exactly what to say. I don't want a love that only looks beautiful from the outside. I want something real. I want the kind of love where we can take off our masks when the world is no longer watching. The kind of love where you don't have to wake up every morning wondering if you are enough for me, because I want you to know that you never have to perform for love. You never have to become someone else just to keep my attention. I want to know the real woman behind your smile. I want to know what makes you laugh until you cannot breathe, what makes you nervous, what makes you angry, what makes you quiet, and what parts of life have left a mark on your heart. I want to know you as you are, not as the world tells you that you should be, because the truth is, I am not perfect either. I have my own flaws. I have days when I overthink things. I have moments when I may not know how to explain what I feel. I have mistakes behind me, and lessons I am still trying to understand. There may be times when I need space to collect my thoughts, not because I love you less, but because I am still learning how to become better at understanding myself. And I hope that in our love, we can give each other the freedom to be human. I don't want us to be afraid of imperfection. I want us to be honest enough to say, I was wrong. I want us to be strong enough to apologize without turning love into a competition about who has more pride. I want us to remember that sometimes winning an argument is not the same as protecting a relationship. There will be moments when we disagree. There will be days when we misunderstand each other. Maybe one day you will say something that hurts me, and maybe I will say something without realizing how deeply it touches a wound inside you. But when those moments come, I hope we don't immediately become strangers. I hope we don't let one difficult conversation erase every beautiful memory we have built together. I hope we choose to sit down, breathe, and remember that before the argument, before the misunderstanding, before the anger, there are still two people who chose each other, two people who are trying, two people who may not always know the right way, but who still care enough to find it. That is the kind of love I want. Not a love without problems, but a love that does not run away from every problem. Not a love where we promise never to hurt each other, because life and human emotions are too complicated for promises like that, but a love where we promise not to intentionally destroy what we have built when we are hurting. I want us to learn how to speak even when silence feels easier. I want us to learn how to listen even when we think we already understand. I want you to be able to tell me when something is wrong without being afraid that I will disappear. I want you to tell me the truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable, because I would rather have an honest conversation that makes us grow than a beautiful lie that slowly creates distance between us.